straight pearly whites, but millions end up in braces, which typically run about $5,500 here in El Paso.
Children from low-income families may qualify for orthodontic Medicaid assistance, but only if their condition is so severe it makes it hard for them to eat or speak.
Now, an investigation by state authorities has revealed that Texas Medicaid has paid nearly $500 million in just 3 years to treat hundreds of thousands of young Texans, but a majority of them only needed cosmetic treatment.
As ABC 7 Night Team investigator Matt Doherty found out, there are children in El Paso with braces on their teeth, but no doctor to treat them. Matt.
Rick Estella, the El Paso mother you're about to meet, tells me she was furious when she showed up with her son to his orthodontist appointment and was given 2 choices: allow them to remove the braces halfway into his treatment or find another orthodontist.
We're in the midst of treatment. You're just going to abandon my kid?
Like lots of boys his age, 12-year-old Marcus Mendoza is smiling with a mouth full of metal. He was told he'd have braces for about 3 years, but now how long he'll wear them is anyone's guess. Sun Orthodontics, the clinic that put the braces on Marcos, says it can no longer treat him.
They said, look, here's your letter, goodbye. And I said, wait a minute, can I talk to you? I have insurance through my employer. Can we maybe do that? And they said, well, we can talk to you, but not right now.
ABC 7 has confirmed Sun Orthodontics, with 4 locations here in El Paso, is among several orthodontia clinics being investigated for fraud by the Texas Department of Health and Human Services. Their Las Cruces location is not one of them. A state spokeswoman tells ABC 7 they've cut off Medicaid payments to Sun Orthodontics.
Well, we discontinued payments for them. Our Office of Inspector General has been doing a pretty thorough review of orthodontists all across the state. And if they find what they call credible evidence of fraud, where it appears that a provider knowingly submitted incorrect information about cases, they can move to put a payment hold. And that's what they've done in this case.
Sun Orthodontics would not answer our questions. Hi, I'm Matt Doherty with ABC. Is Dr. Bondurek there?
You're on private property.
This is the sidewalk. It's public.
But you were instructed to not...
I'm not in your property.
In a statement provided by the company's attorney, Frank Sheeter, Sun Orthodontics blames the mess on Medicaid for signing off on the treatments in the first place. Quote, our orthodontists were required to submit forms, x-rays, and photographs of the patient to Texas Medicaid before they were permitted to provide treatment. And because Medicaid suddenly changed the rules, quote, these abrupt changes make it impossible for our orthodontists and for many others to continue to serve children in the Medicaid program. 200,000 Texas children may be affected. One orthodontist estimates there could be up to 4,000 patients here in El Paso alone.
This is going to be what I think is probably a pretty big problem.
Dr. Rick Black has been fixing bites in El Paso for more than 3 decades. He says he's never seen anything like this.
Here now with a continuing News 8 investigation.
And no one noticed the problem until last year when a reporter with ABC affiliate WFAA in Dallas showed how Texas Medicaid doled out more money for orthodontic treatments in 3 years than all other states combined. In 2 out of those 3 years, from 2008 to 2010, National Orthodontics, also operating as Sun Orthodontics, was the top biller for Medicaid orthodontics in the state of Texas. These staggering bills and those of other practices have triggered the Medicaid investigation, a lawsuit by the Texas Attorney General, and hearings in Congress. Sun has not been charged with fraud nor sued by the Attorney General. But in the meantime, patients like Marcos are scrambling to find new orthodontists. I asked a number of Medicaid-accepting El Paso orthodontists if they're taking Sun Orthodontics transfer patients, and all of them said no.
Okay.
All except for Dr. Black. He says he's already taking former Sun Orthodontics patients, reevaluating their cases, then resubmitting their claims to Medicaid.
What would you do? Well, I think, Matt, you kind of get what you ask for. In other words, even in private practice, even though I'm a Medicaid provider and I have a small amount of Medicaid patients before this happened, I feel an obligation that when you start a patient, regardless of what happens, especially money, you are obligated to finish that patient.
A practice that Sun Orthodontics is apparently unwilling to honor in Marcus's case. And tonight is just the first part of our series. More to come tomorrow night at 10. But first, if you believe you have information on Medicaid fraud, call the Medicaid hotline at 1-800-252-8011. Now, the Board of Dental Examiners has clear rules on what doctors should do as they discontinue treatment. Tomorrow, we'll hear from more former Sun Orthodontics patients, and I'll tell you what the penalty is for abandoning a patient. Rick, Estella, back to you.
Good work, man. We look forward to your story tomorrow.